In today's video, we will be talking about something I probably should have bought a long time ago. I've been going cheap and trying to make without, but yeah, that would be a decent set of automatic wire strippers. My experience with these style wire strippers, kind of a mixed bag. Years and years ago, I bought a set off of the Snap-on truck, which in hindsight, they were probably Knipex, just like these, just rebranded under Snap-on. The set that I bought off the Snap-on truck were actually really good, and I lost or broke them or something at some point in time. And yeah, ever since then, I've been kind of floating around with the regular, just the plier style ones, and I bought a set similar to this from Harbor Freight probably a few years back, and they lasted about a month and a half, and then they broke, and then yeah, that was the end of it. The best I've come up with so far as wire strippers goes would be these here Milwaukee, 6-in-1 strippers, pliers, bolt cutters, the whole 9 yards. And yeah, these are nice for what they are. They have some drawbacks that we'll get into when we flop the camera down and take a closer look at everything. But yeah, so like I said, I just kind of decided to bite the old bullet and get a good name brand, something that's known for wire strippers and pretty much anything electrical and pliers for that matter, which would be Knipex. This particular ones are 1262-180 is the model number, and they are cutter strippers, 10 gauge up to 20, well, down to 24 gauge strippers. And yeah, I bought these particular ones. I got them off of Amazon, and it was a weird thing. It was, for some reason, for Knipex and some other stuff, you can get it cheaper if you get it out of a UK warehouse. So I was like, hey, you know what, I'll save 15-20 bucks and get it from the UK warehouse. Just takes a little longer. So they were delayed a few times, and then even Amazon said, hey, I'm pretty sure these are lost, do you want your money back? And I said sure. So they gave me my money back, and then I reordered them, and then I got these ones in the mail. And then 2 days later, the ones that I ordered originally came, and I was looking at them, and they apparently, I ordered from a UK warehouse, and they got lost in Australian post. I don't know how that happened, but either way, I got two of them, and I only had to pay for one of them. So I got me a BOGO sale, which is nice. I mean, I'll keep these. I can always use a nice set of wire strippers in the house. I'll keep these in the old workbench and put these in the truck if they seem to be all right. I will say, before we face the camera down, I didn't record like 6 videos when I was sick. I was sick, and then I felt better, and now I got another cold. I don't know, but the show must go on, so let's face the camera down. I got a assortment of different wires and sizes and things that we could try these guys out on to see how they work. And I mean, they're just wire strippers, not too much to poke and prod at them. But you never know, we might learn something by actually using them. So let's do that. So these are them out of the packaging. The one set I got came, like I said, in this direct-to-consumer style packaging, and the other set I got was in this more retail clamshell packaging. Like I said, after the video, I'll take these out and throw them in the old top drawer here. Now, looking at them kind of up close and personal here, some features that are a little different than these, and you might have seen with other ones. And then you got the down here, which would be the actual length of wire that you strip off of it. It's kind of a little fiddly. You actually got to pinch it to move it up and down. So, which is nice, because if you're doing something repetitive, like I often do, installing lights on several forklifts, I'll need them all stripped to the same size. So that's kind of cool. I haven't seen this little feature yet, which is a tension adjuster. All the way back would be the least amount of tension, all the way forward would be the most amount of tension, and I think that is actually for the cutting jaws down here. In the top here, you can see we got ourselves a little set of shears for cutting said wires. In the front, and they actually, I should mention that too, they do actually sell replacement cutters for these, and I think they're like under 20 bucks. So that's actually kind of nice. It tells you the gauge, the model number going on down there, the Knipex branding, made in Germany down here. And actually the way they work, you pull them, well, put the wire in there, it holds the wire, cutters cut the insulation, you pull back, and this is a little feature I noticed, when you get to the end of the stroke, it actually opens up so you can pull the wire out, which is kind of cool. The other ones I had, they wouldn't open up at the end, so you'd have to kind of work the wire out, and it would smush the little stringy things on the end when this piece came back forward. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, with the Milwaukee, I can't really even see the number. You've seen these before, 6-in-1, 7-in-1, whatever BS they're making up to put a bigger number on the thing. I will say these are probably the nicest ones I've bought in a long time. I mean, everyone's had those cheapo stamped sheet metal ones that crimpers and cutters, and they suck. Don't buy those. At least, at the very least, get something like this. But yeah, like I said, I mentioned that one of the shortcomings I have with these is that, all right, now if I'm, you know, just working out here, putting some wires together, you just kind of come over here, you do it, and then you kind of get everything going. This is a 12 gauge wire here. And yeah, I mean, that wasn't that big of a deal as far as that goes, but I mean, imagine, you know, there's something I need to tap into down inside a deep hole, and I got to have all of this hand action going on to actually make the strip and the cut on these particular wires. Now, what I'm hoping with these guys is that I can kind of get at least a somewhat of a one-handed operation. It's not what I picked up just out of my truck, some various sizes of wires. This wire here, kind of cheap. It's heavy stranded, PVC coated, so I mean, this is like worst case scenario. I got some 12, 14, 16, and 18. We'll try it on that, and then we'll go to the extreme edges where wire strippers usually tend to fail, you know, that 24 and that 10 end of things. So let's start off just by cutting, which, yeah, that makes a very nice cut. A little tight, but I don't know if you'll be able to actually see that. Probably not, because it's not going to want to focus. Do a little macro action here, but you can see where it's actually cutting it and not smushing it is what you kind of want with a decent set of cutters. And then you kind of just feed it in here, and then you kind of got the one-hand operation. Look at that. Not too bad whatsoever. Let's try a longer cut, which would be the 18 millimeter length. All the way down there. And I don't think it's going to strip it all the way back. It's kind of going to leave it a little bit bare. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Nice thing too, if you got a little pigtail on the end of this, it gives you a nice little thing to get a little twist in the thing. I'm kind of wondering if I could do like the middle of the wire spread action. Should be able to, I would think. Heck yeah. Not bad if you got to like tap into a wire midway. Alright, so that was the 12 gauge, 14 gauge over here. Cuts it just as good. Strips it, not bad at all. Like I said, this is the action I'm looking for right here, is the one-hand action. Nice. I like that. Like I said, you get your hands in a deep hole, it's nice to be able to do the one-hand action. There we got ourselves some 16 gauge, I'm believing. Again with the cut. Very nice and clean. The strip. A little operator error there. Oh no, it was an operator error. I guess I got to tighten up the tension on it for the smaller wires. Yeah, there you go. That worked out fine. Yeah, not bad at all. So smaller wires is when you're going to want to increase the tension on it. I lightened it all the way back up, and yeah, it doesn't do the job with the smaller wires. Let's crank that all the way up. All right, now we're getting into what I would consider, you know, the smallest of the common wires, which would be your 18 gauge here. Not quite communication wire, but you know, small nevertheless. That would be again a very nice cut, and yes, a nice strip. I wonder what the extreme size strip would actually look like. What did I do with that wire? Where'd it go? There it is. Yeah, look at that. Just takes a little teeny tiny nubbins off of it. Yeah, that's not bad at all, especially if you're trying to solder something on there. You only need that little teeny tiny thing. Not too bad. All right, well, let's get into the extreme ends of things. All right, well, we got ourselves a chunk of cheap 10 gauge thick stranded wire down here. I'm thinking we're going to need to back that off and back the tension off to get it to do it. Cutting wise, it kind of works. You got to shove it in there and yank it out, but I mean, it kind of works for the 10 gauge. Now stripping, now the ones I broke from Harbor Freight was with this style wire, which is the 10 gauge. So let's see how she does. Kind of gave it a pull to yank. Not very good. Excuse me. Maybe crank the tension up a little bit. There we go. It'll do it. It's just not very happy about it, but yeah, it'll do it. Stripping wise, cutting wise, yeah, not bad. I mean, like I said, this is the extreme end of crappy wire. So let's try the smallest of small stuff. All right, so for the small stuff, again, tension maxed out. Now this stuff right here, this is 24 gauge wire. It's the stuff I used to wire up my drones with. It's high quality silicone wire, and if we're being honest, you could just do it with your thumb nail because it's nice wire. But let's see if this will do it. Probably adjust that in a little bit. Yeah, not bad at all. Sometimes too, you got to be careful with the smaller wire because it'll actually take more strands than you need. And that one kind of smushed it. That was, again, I think it was user error. Not too bad. And then I got ourselves a servo extension from my RC airplane days, and I know this is 24 gauge as well, and it's also not quite as nice as this green wire. Kind of a softer PVC wire, but still decent enough. And try to strip it. Yes, very good. Yeah, on the stream lower ends, as far as communication wires, it seems like it does pretty good. Not bad at all. I really would have appreciated this when I was building those airplanes and those drones. Yeah, definitely not bad at all. All right, well, I mean, that's about it for this stuff. I mean, like I said, just wire strippers. We kind of went from one end to the other, and it seems, at least for the most part, it's working all right. So there we go. That is the Knipex 1262-180 automatic wire strippers. I like them. I think just using them on the bench here, I could tell that they are of decent quality. Like I said, better quality than those ones. They might not even sell them at Harbor Freight anymore, but the look-alike ones of these Harbor Freight was selling that broke the first time I tried to do 10 gauge wire with. Yeah, like I said, and they also fixed the problem of big hands in small areas trying to strip little teeny tiny wires almost blind. I think these will definitely work out pretty good for me, and if they don't, I have a second set, thanks to Australian Freight, or Australian Post, actually. It's who lost it the first time. But yeah, so I'll put a link to these. The second person I got these from on Amazon, and down in the old description. Like I said, they're a little spendy for wire strippers. These are mid 40s, I think, is what I paid for them. So I mean, not cheap. But I think where'd I put them? These guys from Milwaukee, like I said, these are more for AC type repair, AC electrical type repair. So, but I mean, like, these are decent enough, but they were like $25. So, I mean, like I said, a little spendy, but if they work and they solve problems, I have no problem spending a little bit extra money. And yeah, so like I said, I'll put a link down in the description. One thing you should know, YouTube has their shop thing, and I'm considering not doing it anymore. I originally started doing it because not everything I do I get from Amazon, so I like to be able to give you links to stuff so you can click on it and find it, and if you buy it, I get a little bit of commission. I actually get a better commission from YouTube, but it's kind of annoying because they just kind of automatically populate a link into my thing because their computer brain figures out what I was talking about, puts a link in it, and it puts it on the video, which I'm not a big fan of, and I'm also not a big fan of the fact that it puts their link above my link. My link is the cheaper one and the actual tool that I bought. So, I don't know. Let me know. If you don't like the little thingy popping up, I might just get away with it and I get rid of it if enough people don't like it. Or maybe I'll just do it for the videos where I don't have a link of my own to put in it. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But, yeah, so any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down in the old comment section. Do my best to get back to you. Hopefully next time I don't sound like I have tuberculosis. I haven't been sick in like 2 years, and then I just get sick back to back like that. As soon as I was feeling better, I got sick again. I don't know. But anyway, I'd like to thank you for watching. There you go.